And then, so you talked a lot about your training, like how it's been able to do successful. So you were fourth indoors. So I'm going to throw up because I have right here uh, the race. Uh, and I kind of want you to just walk through a few of these big moves that you had. Let me see if I can get it. All right. So just start line, like right at the start of the race, like what's going through your head? Like any like instructions from your coach? Like what were you thinking?
I'd say at this point, it's probably just trying to get out well, making sure like you're not boxed in. I feel like when you get boxed in early on, you could panic. So I think just get and making sure you just stay on your feet too. That's a really big thing. I feel like when there's that many guys in that race that are that talented and they all like every guy wants to be the front, it can get a little hectic in there. So I think just trying to get out in a good spot that you're comfortable in and stay on your feet is the biggest thing. So I'd say that's probably going through my head there.
Mm-hmm. And then so right, 30 seconds in this race, you're right on the shoulder of Luke Hauser. Was that again something that your coach said, like, oh, like I want you to like be right on the shoulder of the leader at the start, or did you just kind of just want to get out hard, making sort of effort to get out hard, and just sort of ended up there?
Yeah, I just kind of ended up there. I feel like Marcus doesn't really give us too much too much advice before the races. It's kind of open ended for us. But yeah, he just said like basically just like make sure you're awake and alert during this race, which I'll comment on later. But yeah, I think it was just kind of get out and like I like racing when I'm in a comfortable in a good spot, and I figured that'd be closer to the front, so I got out in a good spot. I didn't think it'd be Luke Hauser because he did the mile in, so I didn't think he'd be the one like his shoulder I'd be on, but that was like kind of where I wanted to be early on, so I was able to get in a good spot.
Yeah. And then so like right here, like this lap, like the Oklahoma State kids, they make a really big move. Was there a reason that you didn't try to immediately match that? You just thought it was too early, or?
Yeah, like that's what he said. Like my coach said, just stay alert and be ready for it. And that move kind of like really just caught me off guard. I did not think like it was gonna because the first two laps or first three laps, however many it was when Luke Hauser was in the lead, like it was a really slow pace, and I think those guys like noticed that very early. And like those Oklahoma State guys, their racing strategy, like I think they're better at when it's like a faster pace and strung out. So I got on Luke Hauser's shoulder, and I like the pace it was going because I think I'm more comfortable racing when it comes down to the end. So I was in a really great spot, and I kind of just got comfortable out there, a little too comfortable on that. And then when they made that move, it kind of just caught me so off guard. And yeah, that change of pace really, at that point, I was hurting a little bit early on. So I think from there, I was kind of just trying to survive, which unfortunate because it was so early in the race. But yeah, at that point, I felt like it'd be take a lot out of me if I push up to the front, and then it strung out pretty quick too. So like trying to like surge all the way to the front from there would way too much effort for me during that time.
And then so like right here, you seen Abdallah, he makes a move on you, and you sort of try to like pull up, and you sort of are matching that move. Like, what's the rationale behind matching his move at that point in the race?
I think that's probably when I started to like I get like my coach says I fell asleep, so he kind of says like that and you woke up. That's like how he phrases it. But I think at that point I kind of realized how many guys were going by me at that point. And I was like, oh man, it's getting strung out pretty bad. So I figured at that point I had to like start making it up now, which I think at that point I left it too late. If you're looking at it in a terms of trying to win, just because the guys at the front are just so talented that if you give them that much room, like you're just not going to be able to come back. So I think yeah, at that point I was realizing I need to get up there like as fast as possible.
And then, you know, right here, you make a move past the scene. You make a move up. Was that sort of just like you said, being like, oh, like I can't give all these guys up front any breathing room. Like I got to be right on the leaders when like we start to go, when we start to kick.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of when my legs started coming back under me, and like I was able to like feel the pace out better a little more. And yeah, I was just trying to push up as best as I could. So I knew there was not that much left. So yeah, just trying to pick up as many guys as I can and work my way up as fast as possible.
And then yeah, and then right here in a sec, you're also going to make a move past Aaron Moss Harris. Is that kind of just the same thinking? Just like want to be like right at the front of the pack?
Yeah, same thinking. Just trying to get up there. Yeah, because I feel like if you're not up there with a couple laps, like 3 laps to go, if you're not like right up in the front, I feel like it's gonna be really hard to win. Especially just like how strong those guys are right now, like Nico and Parker. They're just so aerobically strong right now that when they string it out and like they're making their move, because they make their, I feel like those are two guys that make their move like their move's not like 200 meters like kick, it's more strung out and like 3 laps to go. So if you're not like right on the shoulder, like you're not gonna catch them. So I think at that point it's just me trying to get as many guys as I could.
And then so right here also same thing. You pass Aaron Moss Harris. I think you have 400 to go about here. What are you thinking? Sort of just seeing the backs of everyone and just like knowing like nationals, like I got 400 to go. Like what's going through your head?
Yeah, I think I was probably just in so much pain at that point. I was probably just trying to get it over with as fast as possible. But yeah, I mean, everyone at that point is just kicking and it's giving like everything you have left. I feel like at that point, there's not really much strategy unless you're like in the front waiting to make a move. But I feel like in this race, it was so strung out. Everyone was just giving everything they had left. So I'd say, yeah, at that point, I was trying to finish as fast as possible.
Yeah, and then same thing. Is there anything like so right here, like you're 7th going to the bell? Is there like in your head where you're like, oh yeah, I'm totally getting these guys in front of me? Like, did you feel good, or is this like just nothing in your head at that point?
Yeah, pretty much like nothing. Just trying to give everything I had. I remember though looking up at the bell and seeing Nico and Parker, and I was like, oh man, they're way too far out. Yeah, I feel like I probably could have ran that better tactically and maybe been farther up, but yeah, those guys, they were just in perfect positioning for the time move, and then, yeah, I was just trying to pick up all the other guys that were closer to me.